1 ball and 1 strike. Smith trying to work around that 2-out double and stranded out there at second base. 1-1 pitch in there for strike 2. This is a very nice night to come out to the ballpark here on this Monday. A bit of a thinner crowd, as you would expect, for a Monday night game, especially right after the HarbourCats clinched the division and are going to the playoffs. That one is lined foul over the left side. 1-2 still to count. Rapetti takes his lead off of second base. Decent lead for him. He'll be trying to score on anything to the outfield. We're here with 2 away. Another 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Missed off the plate for 2-2. To the outfield. HarbourCats got excellent pitching in yesterday's game. Jack Neely went 4 no-hit innings. Allowed just 1 run despite not allowing a hit. 2-2 pitch is fouled away again. 2-2 still the count. But after Neely was lifted, after those 4 stellar innings, Aaron Celestino came in, a starting pitcher, but was used out of the bullpen, and all he did was close the rest of the game out through the last 5 innings. Did not allow a run, and the HarbourCats won that ball game yesterday 8-1 over Bellingham. That is strike 3 called, and that will end the inning as Hicks is down looking. Cade Smith strands that 2-out double, and we go to the bottom of the first here on Shaw Spotlight and Go Live Broadcasts.
And the HarbourCats have combined to help stop the In terms of the Baker Tilly status game, brought to you by Baker Tilly, the official accounting firm of the HarbourCats. Today's stat is 20. That is the number of walks that Nick Playa has drawn this year. He's tied for second in the league. Gotta love the patience in that kid. Baker Tilly, the official accounting firm of the HarbourCats, with the stat of the game. Fans, the game day program is your key to winning. Find one of the volunteers here to get you section of the game purchase program up to $2. Fill out the form in the Flight Center ad on page 25 to be entered in the draw and win all sorts of awesome giveaways. Through the course of tonight's game, including this year's big prize, a $1,000 travel voucher courtesy of Flight Center. The program is your key to winning all game and all season long. It's time for the Dodds Furniture Move the Game. We've selected 2 lucky men to upgrade their seats. Jeff and Becca will be moving into a grandstand seat thanks to Dodds Furniture.
Pitch is hit in the air to center field. Dayton Koval going back. This is over his head and it's over the wall. Kevin Collard will touch them all. The HarbourCats have tied the game 1-1. Bonneau with a fly ball to right field, and this is going to go back and out of here. There's a drive to left field by Alcantara. This is up, and out. Grand slam for A.J. Alcantara. 6-0 for the Joe Butler.
Back here for the bottom of the first inning, HarbourCats coming to the plate. No score between them and Ridgefield after 1/2 inning. There's a big swing and a miss by Joe Butler, the leadoff man tonight for the HarbourCats, facing off against the starter for Ridgefield, Ethan Clough. He stands at 5'10", 175 pounds, from Temecula, California, and comes to the Raptors from Long Beach State. Quickly 0-2 here on Joe Butler. Butler still looking for that first base hit in the season. This one's rolled up the middle, tracked down at short, and the throw to first is in time by Weaver for 1 out. He's 0 for his first 13, does have 2 RBIs, does Joe Butler, but again, that injury kind of halted any rhythm or consistency that he could try to build and get comfortable at the plate. So now that he's past the injury, he'll try to settle in here for the HarbourCats and get that bat going. So that'll bring Matt Turner up to hit. We'll go through the full HarbourCats lineup in just a moment. Turner bounces one foul past third. It's 0-1. So Butler and Turner, the first two in the order. Tyson Hayes, the DH, is batting third. Nick Adams in right field is in the cleanup spot. Matt Clayton, the catcher, bats fifth. Ty Schindel is sixth. Tanner Rempel at first base batting seventh. Chase Mydroth, the shortstop, bats eighth. And Tanner Haney bats ninth at second base. 1 ball and 1 strike on Matt Turner, who enters play at 222, has a home run and 4 RBIs so far on the West Coast League season. 1-1 pitch is well low and gets all the way to the backstop. It's now 2-1. Well, Cloth for the Raptors is 1-1, 3.75 ERA and 6 appearances and 4 starts on the season. He's allowed 21 hits and 14 walks in 24 innings of work, along with 16 strikeouts. There's a fastball touching 90 on the gun, but it missed for 3-1. Good hitters count now for Turner. In the last start for Clough, went 4 innings, allowed just 1 run on 6 hits and 3 walks while striking out 5. That came back on July 2nd in Bend, as Turner takes one up high. And he will draw a walk for the first base runner of the game for the HarbourCats.
Now batting, the designated hitter from Illinois State, number 10, Tyson.
So here now is Tyson Hayes, the DH. Hayes did the catching in yesterday's game, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, he's the lone bat in the lineup from yesterday's series division clinching, win over the Bellingham Bells. Was the catcher yesterday. He's the DH here today. So Todd Haney using that chance to clinch the division and punch his ticket to the playoffs as an opportunity now to get a lot of guys who haven't been in the lineup regularly here in for the series opener tonight. 1-0 pitch to Hayes is bounced foul. It's 1-1. Hayes had a RBI double in yesterday's game to make it 7-1. Another insurance run for the HarbourCats. They won 8-1, the final score. Now, Victoria did not make it easy for themselves this weekend. You'll know that if you watched the first 2 games of the series, because Bellingham won both in convincing fashion. 12-2 on Friday night and then 8-0 on Saturday. But the HarbourCats woke up and they responded on the final day of the first half. And they got the job done at home. This is going to be a stolen base for Matt Turner, as the catcher for the Raptors, Steve Ramirez, could not transfer that from his catcher's mitt to his throwing hand and get a throw off. Did look like, had Ramirez been able to transfer it cleanly, he might have had a chance to get Matt Turner trying to steal, but because he could not do that, Turner's now in scoring position with 1 away, 2-1 count, and Tyson Hayes at the plate. There's a strike, and it's 2-2. Now with those 2 hits, I mentioned the double for Hayes in yesterday's game, brought the average up to 392 now on the season. 2 homers, 14 RBIs. Two balls and 2 strikes. Very close, but it missed now for 3-2. Gutsy take there from Hayes, but a good take. So it's full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second is Matt Turner. HarbourCats looking to strike first. They're also looking for their first hit in the ball game here in the bottom of the first inning. Here now the payoff pitch from Clough. That'll miss in tight, and it's back-to-back walks here with one out in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Nick Adams.
From Yavapai Junior College, number 9, Nick Adams.
So Adams from Yavapai Junior College will step in here. Couple homers for him on the season, 9 RBIs, 10 runs scored, and he comes in hitting .239. This at bat has runners at first and second with one away. Back-to-back walks issued by Clough, and that has been a thing that's troubled him so far on the season. 14 walks issued in 24 innings, and he issued 3 walks in 4 innings in his last start.
Not on this break, I think it's the next break though, right? Yeah, it's not this one, it's the next one.
It's 1 ball and no strikes on Nick Adams. This one is chopped towards third, stepping on the bag for 1, and the throw across the diamond for a nice double play. Nicely done by Rapetti at third base, and that will get Clough through the first inning. On we go to the top of the second, no score here in Victoria.
Over the center field fence, it is the Black Ball Ferry Coho race. Red, blue, and white, pick one and cheer it on. On your marks, get set, go! Special welcome today to some groups of the park. The Times calling us a book drive volunteer group. The D6 Little League Intermediate All-Stars. The Binford Burger Lounge group. That sounds like a group I could be in. Van Isle Windows enjoying the Wilson Transportation Upper Deck experience.
Here's a chopper to third base. Charging it is Spawn. The bare hand throw. He got him. What a play, Harrison Spawn. This one hit right back up the middle, could be 2. Spawn the dive, the flip to second, and that's a double play. Count is 1-0. And a Wally drive, deep left field, and it is gone. And the 1-2 is hit hard, and it's caught by Pojui Wong on the mound. What a play. Lightning quick reflexes, and another 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And he swings away at the first pitch, shallow left center. This ball will be caught by Playa as he dives to make the catch. This one right back to the mound, going to second with it for 1, back to first, and that's a double play. Is driven high. We go to the top of inning number 2. HarbourCats and the Ridgefield Raptors scoreless here after 1 inning, and Cade Smith goes back to work. He was able to strand a 2-out double in the last inning to keep the Raptors off the board. This is Brody Barnum, the DH here tonight for the Raptors. He comes in at .227, 6 runs driven in. Quickly, 0-2. Smith is ahead of Barnum. There's a wave and a miss, and Brody Barnum down on strikes on 3 pitches here to start the second inning. So a nice start to this frame for Cade Smith, strikeout number 2. Well, this is, I mentioned, but I'll say again, the Raptors' first ever visit to Wilson's Group Stadium, because they are a recent expansion team in the West Coast League here in 2019. So this is the first ever meeting between the two. The HarbourCats will play the Raptors later in the season in Ridgefield. That 3 games they play in Ridgefield is actually broken up into 2 trips the HarbourCats will make to Ridgefield. And one of them, the first of those 3 games, they're going to play right after the conclusion of this 3-game series in Victoria, as that one comes inside. And it hit Steve Ramirez on the back, so he will trot down to first base. But the HarbourCats they're going to play 3 games here at home against the Raptors to conclude the long homestand, the 12-game West Coast League homestand for the HarbourCats. Then they're going to go to Ridgefield, both of these 2 teams, to play 1 game down in Ridgefield at the fancy new Ridgefield Sports Complex that was built and just opened this year, where the Raptors play. And then the HarbourCats will, after that one game, continue on to play 2 other road series, a 7-game road trip in total, before they come back home to play the Yakima Valley Pippins. And again, the HarbourCats will play 2 more games after on a separate road trip down to Ridgefield. Ball and a strike here on the left fielder, Grayson Sterling. He enters play at .250, 9 runs driven in on the season. Runner at first with 1 out. Smith with a fastball that just misses down low. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Steve Ramirez over there at first base, the catcher for the Raptors after the hit by pitch. 2-1. And a fastball up high. It's now 3-1. Smith has fallen behind Sterling.
Go now, Kay. Get your ground ball. Here we go.
What's kind of interesting is that the Raptors entering the West Coast League here in 2019, a year after the Portland Pickles entered the West Coast League as an expansion franchise in 2018. This one is popped up over towards the third base side. Joe Butler's going to watch it go out of play, foul. Now 3-2 the count.
Yeah.
But Ridgefield is located near the Portland area. It's in southern Washington, actually a suburb of Vancouver, Washington, but very close to Portland, right where the state border between Washington and Oregon is.
Oh, I know, dude.
So 2 years ago, there was no teams in that region. Now there's 2. One on the Washington state side of that border and one right in the center of Portland on the Oregon side of the border. Three balls, 2 strikes, still the count. There is a foul on that last pitch by Grayson Sterling. Cade Smith takes a peek over his shoulder at the runner. This one is a little jam shot out to shallow center field. It's going to get down for a hit. So second hit in the ball game for the Raptors. And up to second goes Ramirez. With 1 away, there's runners now at first and second. And just for some background on Ridgefield, the actual town of Ridgefield, again the suburb of Vancouver, Washington, is a town of under 5,000 people, but it's not far from Vancouver, Washington, which is a city of 160,000, and of course part of the greater Portland area, despite the fact that it's in Washington State, just right across the river. So there is a good baseball fan base in that southern Washington, northern Oregon area, and so certainly 2 teams in the West Coast League can both be supported.
Come in, Matty. Hold up now, here we go.
Count is 1-1 here on Michael Jorg, the right fielder. Super utility man for the Raptors, plays some infield and outfield, but getting the start in right field here tonight. 1-1 pitch. This one is smacked into right for a base hit. Getting the stop sign at third is the lead runner Ramirez, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. Nick Adams did a nice job for the HarbourCats getting that one back in quickly and hitting the cutoff man to avoid a run scoring. But Cade Smith in a bit of trouble here in this inning. Bases all full, 1 away. And the hitter will be Wyatt Hoffman, the second baseman. Ramirez is at third, Sterling at second, and Jorg at first. There's a good breaking ball that drops in for a strike, 0-1. Ground ball, of course, up the middle does get Cade Smith potentially out of the inning if the HarbourCats can turn 2. Did strand a runner again at second in the last inning to avoid allowing a run to score. But in a dangerous spot again here in the second frame as Smith misses down low with an 89-mile-per-hour fastball. Count now even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Wyatt Hoffman. This one is hit well in the air to center field. Drifting underneath it, making the catch is Turner. He comes up throwing, and the throw's a little up the line. That'll allow a run to score. And it's 1-0 Ridgefield here in the second inning. So a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Wyatt Hoffman as Ramirez comes in from third, and the Raptors have the lead. So a good start on the road for Ridgefield. In the first half of the season, they were 13-14. So even though they are an expansion franchise, and it can sometimes be difficult right away in your first season to make the playoffs, they're going to be one of those teams that are happy to flip the calendar over from the first to the second half and have a 0-0 record. Fresh, clean slate for them and everyone else to try to win the division in the second half and make the playoffs. This one popped up to shallow left center field. It's going to be caught in left center by Matt Turner, and that will end this second inning. A run does score for the Raptors, 1-0. They lead the HarbourCats as we go to the bottom of the second.
All right, fans, people have got cookies for you in section 9.
2-2 pitch is hit well down the left field line, going back, looking up, and it is gone! And the pitch. This one grounded up the middle, could be 2. There's the flip to second for 1, Haney to first, double play. And Fox is set for another 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. And those double play balls as well have helped him out. This one is caught on a dive. No, it's knocked down. The throw to first in time. Wagonseller with a high fly ball. Deep left center field, and it is gone! And he's 5th in the league in RBIs as he grounds one to third, charging it with the bare hand spawn. The throw is in time. And the 1-2 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, here's a ball hit well in the air deep to left field, and this ball is gone. 0-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. And the 2-2. Strike 3 called, he got him. Here's a ball hit hard towards the hole, diving stop made by Bigford. He gets to his feet, and that's the inning. And Lewis is running right away for second, and he is safe as the ball tips off him. And he'll now head on for third, and he's coming home. Here's Lewis for the plate, and he is safe. That if they work hard, they can still have a chance to make it in the West Coast League. There's a flip on to second, and that's the ball game. Echols gets the ground ball to short, and that'll end it tonight. We're back, bottom of the second inning. HarbourCats taking on the Ridgefield Raptors here on this Monday night. And we'll have game 1 of 3 this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All of them will be on Shaw. So we're looking forward to bringing you lots of HarbourCats baseball as well as Go Live broadcasts. 0-1 pitch is a strike to Matt Clayton. 0-2 now the count. Ethan Clough was able to get through that bottom of the first inning without any damage. But he did issue a pair of free passes. That'll miss outside to Clayton for 1-2. Now I mentioned we're on Shaw all 3 games of this series, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But the HarbourCats, if you want to watch all of the HarbourCats home games through the rest of the second half and in the playoffs, we'll have them all at home for you on Go Live broadcast, $6.99 per game. And we also have a select handful of games on Shaw. 17 in total are on Shaw on Vancouver Island here this season, which is the most we've ever done on Shaw, but the HarbourCats do have still a bunch of home games left in the second half. And of course, they will be in the playoffs. We now know that with them clinching that playoff spot. They're at least going to have 1 home game. Depending on how their overall record is, we'll decide whether they have 2 home games in the first round of the best of 3 series, or of course if they either sweep or get swept, it could be only one. There's a swing and a miss by Matt Clayton, and that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. So Clayton is down swinging. Here now is Ty Schindel. Schindel, a Victoria native from San Diego Christian. He's getting the start in left field here tonight for the HarbourCats, hitting in this at-bat with the bases clear and 1 away. Schindel punches one out into left field. This will get down for a base hit. And he didn't wait around on that first pitch of the at-bat. So Schindel aboard at first with 1 out. And that's now going to bring in Tanner Rempel, another BC native from Abbotsford. He's getting the start at first base here this evening. Quick chance for us to look at the defense in behind Ethan Clough for Ridgefield, as we have not yet done that. Left to right in the outfield, it is going to be Sterling, Bauer, and Jord at third base. Cameron Rapetti at Hoffman at second, Michael Hicks at first, and Steve Ramirez behind the plate doing the catching here for Clough tonight. Runner goes. The throw down is not going to be nearly in time. Another stolen base. This time it's Ty Schindel stealing second, and I think the HarbourCats might be onto something here because that's twice. Now the catcher, Steve Ramirez, has kind of double clutched on the throw down, and the throw, once he did get it off, was not close to the bag. Rempel also is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. There is a strike on the inner half of the plate. Now 2-1 to Rempel.
Come on, Remp.
Rempel, limited at bats for him on the season. He's 2 for 12, does have 3 RBIs.
Get after it, let's go.
We just got to throw it to the catcher.
He's made the most of those 2 base hits. Both of them have scored runs. Two and 1 pitch to Rempel is missing up and in, and it's now 3-1. Also looking at the umpires for the ball game tonight, Phil Bourgeois is behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Jaden Sabin is at first, and Nick Moore is at third. Right now, Sabin's more at second base with a runner over there. 3-1 pitch, gonna miss to Rempel, ball 4. It's another walk issued by Clough. First and second with 1 out now for the HarbourCats, and Chase Mydrock will come up to the plate to hit.
Now batting the shortstop from San Diego, number 14, Chase Mydrock.
Okay.
So the Raptors with the 1-0 lead, but the HarbourCats threatening here in the bottom of the second inning. They once again have runners at first and second, which they did in the last inning as well, but did not score any runs. Chase Mydroth takes a strike on a good fastball from Clough that caught that outside part of the plate. 0-1. Mydroth, another guy like Tanner Rempel, who has not seen a lot of the field to this point. He's 2 for 9 with an RBI. That'll miss off the plate outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mydroth, a couple weeks ago against the Bend Elks, made his HarbourCats debut. That was an afternoon game in the series finale against Bend. And he went 2 for 4 with a double, a run, and an RBI. So those were both of his 2 hits in that one game in his debut for Victoria. 2 balls and a strike now, and that'll bring the catcher, Steve Ramirez, out to the mound to talk things over with Clough. He's just lost the command a little bit in this inning. And I think Chase Mydroth is another player for the HarbourCats who just maybe will be good for him to get in the lineup tonight to get back into a rhythm at the plate, see some pitches, get some good swings. Because when you are in a spot where you have a lot of depth like the HarbourCats do, but you're fighting for a playoff berth right until the very end of the first half, course, any manager is going to roll with whoever they feel is their strongest lineup to really try and lock that playoff berth up and win the division. So that's what Todd Haney has done, although he has done a very good job as well, in fairness to him, of getting guys in, getting a lot of players who do play a lot, some frequent rest days to keep them fresh, because he has a lot of depth to turn to, and he's used it well. But as is always going to be the case, there is some winners and losers in terms of playing time on a roster. It's just the way it is. And so some players will now get maybe more of an extended look here in the second half, knowing that the playoff spot is locked up. There's a swing and a miss by Mydroth as he was behind that off-speed pitch. It's 2 away with runners at first and second in the bottom of the second inning, and that'll bring out Tanner Haney.
Tanner Haney.
So Haney trying to come up with a 2-out base knock. See if the HarbourCats can tie up this game and get Ty Schindel, who runs well out there at second base, in from second. This is another inning here for Clough as both runners are going to go. The throw down to third is in time, and Schindel is out. Much better throw that time from Steve Ramirez, and that will end the inning. So the HarbourCats trail 1-0 as we go to the top of the third inning, and we are going to bring on the broadcast here in the middle of the inning, Jameson Schultz-Franco for Around the West Coast League. So Jameson, thanks for taking the time to join us. What do you have for us here today?
Well, Mike, we talked about the importance of the Bellingham series this past weekend. The HarbourCats left it to the last game of their 3-game series to put icing on the cake. And not only did they do that, but they put a little bit of extra sprinkles on it, Mike. The HarbourCats bounced back hard after making quick work of a 1-0 deficit, commanding an 8-1 win versus the Bellingham Bells. Even despite the weather, the dedicated HarbourCats fan base was out in full force as they clinched a playoff berth. HarbourCats pitchers Jack Neely and Aaron Celestino shined for Victoria, allowing just 1 hit through all 9 innings. On offense, Harrison Spahn and Jason Willow led the way, both hitting solo home runs and capping off a solid team effort.
Yeah, you're right. It was a bit of a rainy afternoon. Not nearly enough for a delay. It was raining kind of on and off. Not raining hard, but it was a little bit of a factor. But you said it, the HarbourCats fans, the diehard fans were out, and they were making a lot of noise. It was a good atmosphere at the park yesterday, and the HarbourCats did wrap up the division. So thank you, Jameson, for that edition of Around the West Coast League. Jameson is going to be back in a couple innings time for part 2 of Around the West Coast League, where he will tell us a little more about the new expansion team, the Ridgefield Raptors. But for now, we'll go back to this one here in this bottom, check that top of the third inning with the Raptors coming up. They lead 1-0. Cade Smith goes back to work. There's a wave and a miss on the first pitch from Smith. This is Jack Bauer, the center fielder. 2, 3, and 4 in the Ridgefield lineup will hit in this top of the third inning. Bauer, Rapetti, and then Hicks will be the batters in this frame for Ridgefield, trying to add to their 1-0 lead. That last pitch, a breaking ball at 71, missed off the plate for 1 ball and 1 strike. Even count here, 1-1. Swinging a foul back, it's now 1-2.
How is that about?
Now I want to get back to that, the fan support in Victoria, especially yesterday, because it wasn't the biggest crowd, but and you wouldn't really expect that with the rain and being a Sunday afternoon game. As the throw across, dug out again at first. Nice play on that receiving end at first base by Tanner Rempel, and that will get Bauer for the first out. But it was a good atmosphere yesterday at the park. A lot of fans really into the game, making some noise when the HarbourCats were able to put up a 4-run bottom of the third inning to come from behind the 1-0 deficit and then take a 4-1 lead. And then they kept going. A couple solo home runs in the 7th inning by Jason Willow and Harrison Spahn. So really everything was going well for the HarbourCats yesterday, including the pitching, which was dominant between Jack Neely and Aaron Celestino. Neely took a no-hitter into the 5th inning, but kind of was at the end of his gas tank, if you will, so he was lifted for Aaron Celestino. Celestino only allowed one hit in his 5 innings, and it was a infield hit on a little slow roller to third, a swinging bunt, if you will. And all he gave up, so the HarbourCats were very close to throwing a combined no-hitter. But Celestino and Neely picked the right day to bring their best stuff to the park. As the HarbourCats, of course, the 8 runs were nice, and it meant that the game was a lot less stressful, especially in the late innings when the HarbourCats were up by more runs. But the pitching is what did it for them yesterday, and that's how you win those tight playoff-style games, as it was effectively a playoff game yesterday. It was a 1-game playoff where the winner clinched a playoff spot. And so that was a good sign for the HarbourCats that they were able to pitch well and they were able to step up when it mattered and win a game like that. Bodes well, you would think, for the rest of the season. Here now is the first baseman, Michael Hicks. No balls and a strike. That one is going to miss for 1-1. 80 on the off-speed pitch from Cade Smith. Runner at first. After the walk, Cameron Rapetti took that base on balls. He is now reached safely in both of his first 2 plate appearances with a double and a walk. 1-1 pitch is also missing from Smith for 2-1.
Good angle.
Now a throw goes over to first base from Smith, diving back in safely. There is Rapetti. I think fair to say, as I talk about the crowd, tonight's crowd may be a little more subdued, and for good reason. It's a Monday night, very nice, pleasant day to watch some ball here at the park, and not much wind to speak of, hardly a cloud in the sky as well, and a very relaxed atmosphere around this HarbourCats team, having clinched a playoff berth. First game of the second half. There's a swing and a foul away. Runner was breaking for second on that pitch, but Rapetti's going to have to go back to first. Full count now to Michael Hicks. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He was a strikeout victim of Cade Smith in his first at bat. Another 3-2. Hit on the ground to short. My draw to Haney over to first, and not in time. Haney, I don't think, got as much on that throw as he would have liked. It was still a close play, though, at first. But Michael Hicks was able to run hard down that first base line and beat it out to avoid the inning-ending double play. So we'll give Brody Barnum a chance to hit in this inning. Barnum also struck out in his first at bat. There's a breaking ball that gets all the way to the backstop. So Hicks advances up to second base. That was well behind Barnum, and I think Smith just lost the grip of that one because it did not look like at all there was any intent, of course, on that breaking ball. Now the 1-0 pitch is a strike. It's 1-1. Smith has gotten to 2 outs with that fielder's choice a moment ago. Did allow the 1 run to score, but did well to limit the damage with the bases loaded in the second inning. Now has another runner in scoring position at second. And the 1-1 pitch to Barnum is a fastball up high that misses 2-1. 3 innings now. Smith has had to deal with a runner in 2-1 pitch, popped up right around home plate. It's going to get back out of play as it lands on top of the overhang here behind home plate. Now a 2-2 count. Brody Barnum at the plate, out at second base is Michael Hicks. Smith. Another one fouled away. It remains 2-2.
That foul ball is brought by Citizens TPA. Started scanning for fees and what the things sounds too good to be true, but it isn't.
Smith with the look in to his catcher. And another foul back. So a good battle being put up here by Brace and keep the inning alive for Ridgefield. It's 2-2. Smith does have a base open at first, so he can, if he wants to, at least try to nibble a bit or throw one outside here on 2-2 and see if he can get Barnum, who's now in swing mode with a couple fouls in a row, to try to chase one. Another 2-2 pitch is a wave and a miss. He got him with the slider. And that ends the inning. Nice job by Cade Smith. Another scoreless frame. He's just allowed the one run through 3 innings. HarbourCats trying to get on the board when we go to the bottom of the 3rd.
What do we got for you? We got
purchased land to build a new public safety building using provincial gaming revenue from hosting Elements Casino Victoria. The new building has larger sleeping quarters, so volunteer firefighters can be on call, on site, and respond to emergencies even faster. The building isn't only home to the town's fire department, though. It also has space for public operations center, too. BCLC, we're community-minded, with your community in mind.
Leading off for your HarbourCats, the second baseman from the University of Texas, number 2, Tanner Haney.
And Tanner Haney steps in for the HarbourCats. He was at the plate when Ty Schindel was caught stealing to end the last inning. So Haney, the number 9 hitter and second baseman tonight for the HarbourCats, will lead off this bottom of the 3rd. There's a first pitch strike at 88 from Ethan Clough, and it's 0-1. Now, I mentioned that going to the second half, all the records reset to 0-0. Looking for a big second half to qualify for the playoffs in their inaugural season. That's what Portland did last year. They made the playoffs despite being a first-year expansion team. So Ridgefield trying to do that in the South Division in the second half. They do come into this series, though, coming off a sweep at the hands out here to start this bottom of the 3rd. But the Knights swept the Raptors down in Ridgefield the last 3 days. The Knights were trying to wrap up the South Division, and they did do that, beating out the Walla Walla Sweets, who gave them a good fight right until the end. But the Knights did win that division, so they're in the playoffs along with the HarbourCats. And the Raptors, as mentioned, were the latest victim of the Knights, who have been absolutely scorching hot. They've won 15 games in a row. So the Raptors are hardly the first team to be swept in the 3-game series against Corvallis. There's Joe Butler fouling one away. Ball and a strike to count to him. Bases clear with one away in this bottom of the 3rd. So the Knights have just been really beating up everyone they've been playing, especially down in the north, in the South Division. Corvallis as well. It's worth monitoring for the HarbourCats too, because the HarbourCats currently hold the West Coast League record for the longest win streak. came back in 2016 when the HarbourCats won 19 games in a row. So the Knights are approaching that with the 15-game win streak entering play here today. And just taking a glance early at the scoreboard, just in the third inning down in Port Angeles, but Corvallis is ahead 4-2. So if they win that game, they would have 16 in a row as Joe Butler flies one in the air to shallow right field, and York makes the catch. There's 2 down. So that's something I'm sure that the HarbourCats in the front office, just for bragging rights' sake, will want to end that streak in the next couple games, because that is something the HarbourCats are proud of. They're both the longest win streak in the West Coast League and the best record in the West Coast League in the regular season. Both of those marks were set by Victoria in 2016 when they were 40-14 and had that 19-game win streak. There is a first pitch strike here to Matt Turner, the center fielder. Bases are empty with 2 away now in the bottom of the third inning. Now 2 2/3. He has been wild a little bit at times, but he's been effectively wild, and he's made pitches when he's needed to with some runners on base to get through a couple of innings that could have turned into dangerous innings for him. He's ahead now 0-2 on Matt Turner. There's a breaking ball that misses above the zone, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Just the 1 hit, 3 walks allowed for Ethan Clough through 2 2/3, along with 3 strikeouts. But still a 0 in the run column. 1-2 to Turner is a swing and a miss, and that is the inning. 1-2-3 go the HarbourCats here in the third, and we go to the top of inning number 4, 1-0 Ridgefield in the lead.
On the third baseline, our prize team has a
Clough, but both of those 2 guys, as luck would have it, been deep down the left field line, but it goes foul over into the bullpen area of the Raptors. 0-2. Well, Cade Smith seems to have gotten stronger as the game's worn on here in this start. 0-2 pitch, hit on a line, right to second base, and Tanner Haney puts it away. There's 2 gone. Just had to go down to a knee to get that one. It was dipping quickly, but Haney kept it from hitting the ground. And Cade Smith gets a little bit of good fortune there on that hard hit ball. Quickly 2 away now, so Smith looking for back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Check swing to first. It's going to be Rempel. Reaches out, not going to have a play. Rempel couldn't find it for a moment after it tipped off his glove, and that little bit of time he took cost him a chance to get the out. So I think that one will be ruled a hit because it was hit hard at Rempel. It will allow the inning to continue as Jack Bauer reaches base safely. It is officially a hit for Bauer. Cameron Rapetti now will hit. Rapetti takes a strike at 87 from Cade Smith. Now Cameron Rapetti is yet to be retired in the ball game. Walk and a double on his line. So Smith is denied a 1-2-3 inning for the second inning in a row. Going to try to get Rapetti out for the first time here to get through this top of the 5th. Ball and a strike now the count.
Get down up.
There's a peek over the shoulder of Smith, and a good curveball that is waved on and missed. Smith slowed that one right down to an even 70 on the radar gun, and Rapetti swung right through it. So Smith ahead here, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner goes, the pitch in the dirt, throw down from Clayton is not in time.
All right, knock it down.
So a stolen base. That was not a bad throw from Clayton at all. I think the base runner, Jack Bauer, just really stole that one on his own. One thing that Clayton does have back there, very good arm behind the plate for the HarbourCats, but that time Bauer got a good jump. And on the hands of Rapetti, and he fouls it high away over the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at second here in the top of inning number 5. 1-1, the HarbourCats and the Raptors tied up here as we play this 5th inning. Just about halfway home here on this Monday night. 2-2. Reaching out, softly hit to short. Mydroth throw in time at first, and that is the inning. So a nice job by Cade Smith. He's through 5 innings of 1-run ball, and the HarbourCats and the Raptors are still tied 1-1.
Time to get a bit of exercise here. Everybody stand up. We're going to play heads or tails. Very simply, put your hand on your head or your tail. If it's the same as the coin, you're alive. If not, you sit down. Here we go. It is a head. If your hand is on your tail, sit down. It is a tail. If your hand is on your head, sit down. I am. Heads. If your hand is on your tail, sit down. Heads. If your hand is on your tail, sit down. Heads. If your hand is on your tail, sit down. I think I've got 1 left up here. You guys still got a couple? Hey, here we go. Yeah. Heads. If your hand is on your tail, sit down. Here goes the grandstand. You got 1? 1 down there? All right. Tails. If your hand is on your head, sit down. Did I get them both at the same time? I win. I'm kidding. Both of them can have a prize. I'm already going to be here at the next game. The question is, are you guys all going to be here at the next game? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Let's go, Pat.
Woo!
He's been here the whole time. What it looked like since we showed up. Can't get around. You're in the six.
Leading off for your HarbourCats, the shortstop from San Diego, number 14, Chase Mydroth.
We go to the home half of inning number 5, and the HarbourCats still deadlocked with the Ridgefield Raptors. 1-1 ball game here as we are just past the halfway point. Chase Mydroth swinging away at the very first pitch of the inning. This is a high pop-up on the infield, and it's going to fall in yet again. Mydroth will take it. I don't think the first baseman, Michael Hicks, touched that ball, so Mydroth is going to get a hit. Took forever to come down, and the Raptors are having some trouble with the routine pop-ups here in the last few innings. Well, they are going to say that that was an error, as Hicks apparently did get a little piece of that one before it dropped in. It's one of those where it's a clear mistake by the fielder. The only question is whether it's eligible to be classified as an error, because if he does not touch the ball, if it just falls in, you cannot officially score it as an error. But they did rule that he got a little piece on that. There's a bit of a wild throw to first from Ethan Clough, and Hicks did well that time to keep that one from getting away. So it's Mydroth at first, nobody out. Now Tanner Haney is the hitter. Runner goes. Haney bounces one to third. This is going to avoid the double play as Haney is thrown out by the third baseman Rapetti. But starting the runner, Mydroth avoided that double play. So he's now at second base with one gone.
The Fuel Supplements Power Stroke Batter from Illinois State, number 26. Now substituted in, number 3, Nate.
We have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Nate Pacoda, who is going to hit for Joe Butler. Butler started at third base, but Pacoda is going to hit for him now. There was a fastball at 87 to Pacoda that misses off the plate outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Little pop-up on the infield. This one.
Now batting the center fielder from Calvin, Matt Turner.
So next up, Matt Turner, the center fielder. Chance for an RBI for him if he can find some outfield grass here with 2 gone. Come up with a base hit off of Ethan Clough to give Chase Mydroth a chance to score. Turner looks at strike 1 on the fastball at 87 from Clough. Well, aside from the home run ball, Clough has pitched a good ball game to this point. 4 2/3, just 2 hits and 3 walks, 1 earned run and 5 strikeouts. Very similar line actually to what Cade Smith has as well. They've both been very good, both Clough and Smith. And that's something that we haven't seen a lot in the first half, but we did see over the weekend because Bellingham, the Bells, who are much more known for their pitching, they put forth a couple of excellent starts. Logan Hatley and Nick Proctor in games 1 and 2. But perhaps the HarbourCats will be able to get some of their as well, where the HarbourCats have just flat out outscored some teams. But we do know that the HarbourCats have a number of very good arms, not only in the bullpen, because the bullpen's really been a definite strength, but also in the rotation. Cade Smith is one of their best, and he has looked good to this point tonight. Two and 2 count here on Matt Turner. Mydroth at second, 2 gone, bottom of the 5th. HarbourCats with just the 2 hits. Ridgefield has 4, but it's a 1-1 ball game. And Clough looks back at the runner. Now the 2 and 2 pitch is going to be a foul ball. Turner held up on the swing, but it came inside and tipped off the bat. HarbourCats now have a left-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. Ridgefield pen is quiet, so Clough looks like he still has at least another inning left in him, because the Raptors did have someone throwing back an inning or 2 ago, but now that reliever has sat down. Another pop-up into shallow right field. It's going to be the second baseman, Hoffman, who takes care of it, and that is the inning. Still 1-1.
There's a great start. Oh, you tell him, sister. You go ahead. Tell him to get off that phone. Oh, look. Oh, look, it's us. Oh, look. Hey, there we go. Oh, there's a guy who knows. Takes his hat off. What a gentleman. We're going to get another one in here. Nope, there we go. I don't know, I think the first guy was pretty enthusiastic there with the red shirt. I think he's going to be my winner tonight. Thanks again, everybody. That is your Glow Restaurant, Kiss Ham. And how about a little round of applause for our Canadian Tire cleanup crew, raking the fields, keeping everything in good shape. Great job, you two. In the winter, those 2 guys are Clydesdales for Budweiser. Now pitching for your HarbourCats from Dallas Baptist, number 47, Reagan McDonald.
Go, Reagan.
On we go to inning number 6 here at Wilson's Group Stadium. And it's still a 1-1 ball game. Good pitching matchup between Cade Smith and Ethan Clough. But Smith is going to be done after 5 very good innings. And on for the HarbourCats comes the towering left-hander Regan McDonald. There's a fastball at 88 that is cut on and missed by Michael Hicks, the first baseman. No balls and 1 strike. So Smith, the final line for him, he goes 5 innings, allowing 4 hits and 1 walk, just the 1 earned run and 4 strikeouts. So a nice step from McDonald, 0-2. McDonald, the big left-hander, standing at 6'9", from Dallas Baptist. He's appeared in just 1 game in the West Coast League this summer, but he has also thrown in a couple of other non-league games. That is strike 3 called with the fastball at 87, painting the outside corner, and down goes Hicks as out number 1. Now, I mentioned McDonald made the 1 West Coast League appearance. That came back on June 20th down in Yakima Valley in a 13-4 HarbourCats win. McDonald went 2 innings, allowed 1 earned run on 2 hits with 3 strikeouts. So with that 1 run in 2 innings, he brings a 4.50 ERA into today's relief appearance. Got Hicks on strikes for the 2nd time in this game after Cade Smith struck him out once. Count is now 2-0. This is Brody Barnum, the DH, who has also struck out twice. He is 0 for 2. He's yet to put a ball in play. There is a strike. It's now 2-1. So Barnum may be showing a little more in the count here in this at bat, but it's now a 2-1 count. McDonald hard right back up the middle and into center field, and Regan McDonald had to duck out of the way of that. Boy, that one almost took his head off out there on the mound, but fortunately for him, he is 6'9" instead of 7 feet tall. Also reacted very quickly. Of course, it's not easy to react, and some pitchers have better reflexes than others, but you're not used to or expecting the ball to come right back at your head that fast. So here now is the catcher, Steve Ramirez. Ramirez has had a good West Coast League season to this point, entering today's ball game at 301, 2 homers, 14 ribbies for him. Count is now 2-0 on Ramirez, who in today's ball game 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a hit by pitch, and a run scored. A little foul tip by Ramirez there off the shadows just now starting to creep onto the field and on the left side of the infield to the plate as well, because McDonald on the mound is still in the sunlight. 2-1 pitch, going to miss up high. It's now 2-2.
Oh, no, right at him.
There is also, just with the way the shadows are, right in front of home plate, there is a little almost patch of sunlight as well. So not the easiest of environments to hit in. That's a strike, and it's now 3-1. Well, you don't usually see a hitter get that far down the first baseline when a strike is called. It's not just that he took a step or 2, he took 4 or 5. But Ramirez is going to be forced to step back into the batter's box. Check that, it's now a 3-2 count. That was the 3-1 pitch. Now here is the payoff delivery from Regan McDonald. That'll miss, and a clear walk. Throw goes down to second, and that's going to be, no, it's a double play to end the inning. A strikeout and a throw down to second to end it, and Regan McDonald and the HarbourCats get through the top of the 6th. Ridgefield will complain, but the HarbourCats running off the field. Here we go on to the bottom of inning number 6, still a 1-1 ball game on Shaw Spotlight and Go Live broadcasts.
Game 2 of this series. It is also Faith Night, as well as Wednesday for Harvey's birthday. First pitch tomorrow and Wednesday at 6:35. Stop by the HarbourCats office or go online to secure your seats. All right, fans, we've been talking about him. He's here tonight. He is Eric, the peanut guy. He is from Gonzaga, and he's going to announce our batters this inning. What do you guys say?
Come on, Tyson! What's up, Victoria? Leading off your designated hitter, number 10, Tyson Hayes.
On we go to the home half of the 6th inning. Tyson Hayes, who is responsible for the lone run in the ball game for the HarbourCats. A solo shot that came off his bat back in the bottom of the 4th. He will lead off this bottom of the 6th. And he takes a fastball up above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. This is still Ethan Clough out there, now into his 6th inning of work. He is approaching the century mark with the pitch count. That first pitch for him is the 1-0 delivery is now in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Now we took a look at the replay in the inning break there and got another chance to see what happened at the end of the inning. HarbourCats may be a little fortunate to get that double play to end the inning, because what I think the call was, home plate umpire, that Steve Ramirez went around with the swing on 3-2. Despite the fact that it was a ball, he went around with the swing and struck out, and then the base runner, he was at first was running down to second, just trotting down there because he thought it was ball 4 and that he was being pushed up to second base, so he was not running hard to second, and that allowed the HarbourCats to throw it down there to get the double play. But based on the look we had on the replay, it looked like might have been in fact a check swing. We don't know for sure, but we don't think Ramirez went around, so the HarbourCats maybe did get a little break, because that would have been ball 4 and it would have pushed the runner into scoring position with 1 out. But speaking of ball 4, it's a walk issued by Clough to Tyson Hayes to begin this bottom of the 6th inning. And now up is Nick Adams. So Hayes has had a good ball game for Victoria. Now a couple of walks for him along with the solo home run. Nick Adams steps in. He's 0 for 2. Snap throw down to the bag, and Hayes was just starting to drift towards second, but got back there safely. Time called here as Jason Leone will deliver a message to Nick Adams. Looked like Leone might have given Adams a sign, and Adams might not have been on the exact same page with Leone and what the sign was put on. Might the HarbourCats be trying to conjure up a hit and run situation here? We saw Hayes starting to drift away from the bag. No, it's going to be a bunt put down, but this goes foul. It looked like more of a drag bunt by Adams as he squared around late and tried to drop it down the third base side before starting his way to first. So that's what the information was from Leone to Adams, but Adams bunted it foul. So he's probably going to be swinging away now. No, check that. It's just a 1-1 count, so there is another chance for... There was another throw to Tyson Hayes, keeping him close at first.
Hey, I know. Scotty Big League.
1-1 pitch is going to miss for 2 balls. Still over there at first with a decent lead. Adams not tempted to swing at that last pitch, and he also is not showing bunt on that last pitch. Two and 1 pitch is going to miss off the plate outside. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Good chance for Nick Adams here to locate a pitch or pick a pitch in one spot, and if he gets it, he can try to square it up. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Hayes at first. That, though, is not close to the zone. Another walk issued by Clough. Might be nearing the end of his line. Mentioned he's nearing the century mark as well. With the pitch count, he's just 3 pitches away from 90, so he's starting to creep towards that 100 pitch mark. And I think that might be it here for Clough. Or is this just going to be a meeting? We'll see if this is a mound meeting or a pitching change for the Raptors. It is going to be all, as Ethan Clough will get a nice hand from the fans here at Wilson's Group Stadium. He pitched very well, and the fans are recognizing that. Both him and Cade Smith with good performances tonight, and a new pitcher coming in for Ridgefield when we come back.
That was good. The guys like it. Is that not good? I don't come up with a good line.
We're back here in the bottom of inning number 6, first and second, nobody out. Matt Clayton is the hitter, and a new pitcher is on for the Ridgefield Raptors here. There's one that's going to miss down and away to Matt Clayton. 1 ball and no strikes. The new pitcher is Cameron Rapetti, who comes from third base onto the mound to throw now. Rapetti had reached base twice in his 3 plate appearances to begin the game. And so he moves from third base to the mound now to throw as he misses outside at 88. 2-0 now on Clayton. Rapetti is 1-1 with a 2.34 ERA. He's allowed 4 hits and 3 walks with 7 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings. Also has 2 saves on the season for Ridgefield. He's a native of Cypress, California. Going to Cal State Fullerton in the fall. 2-1 now the count on Matt Clayton. HarbourCats threatening here to take the lead with nobody out. It's Nick Adams at first, Tyson Hayes at second. Now the 2-1 pitch swung on. Both runners were going, but it was fouled away by Clayton. It's now 2-2. Well, with Rapetti moving from third to the mound, we also have a couple of defensive changes to tell you about. Taking over at third base for the Raptors is Tyler Earn. So he replaces Rapetti at third, and also shuffling things around in the order. So at first base, we have a new first baseman as well. And that is Carter Benbrook from UC Santa Barbara. So he is going to replace the starting first baseman, which is Michael Hicks for Ridgefield. Full count now to Clayton, 3-2. Clayton swung away and fouled that one off down the right side. It remains 3-2.
Hey, better with the hips, Matty. Hey, fix it, that a boy.
Ty Schindel waits on deck. Schindel is 1 for 2. Clayton is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, trying to put something in play here in this at-bat, or perhaps work his way aboard with a walk to set up the bases loaded and nobody out.
Back.
Now Rapetti's going to step off the rubber and look Hayes back to the bag at second. We did see the HarbourCats put their base runners, both of them, in motion earlier in this at-bat, but they have not done so since then. It is 3-2. That'll miss well outside. Clayton gets his walk, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out, and Schindel the hitter.
Now batting. Our left fielder, number 13, from San Diego Christian.
So danger here for Rapetti and the Raptors. Schindel the hitter, bases full, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Infield's going to come in for Ridgefield. There's a lot of space as well up the middle if you can get it past the mound. Schindel does not need to hit it very hard. There's a lot of room up there between second. For the HarbourCats, it's Hayes at third, Adams at second, and Clayton at first, with Schindel at the plate, trying to give Victoria the lead and break this 1-1 deadlock. First pitch to him is going to miss. Down and in, 1 ball, no strikes.
Hey, barrel it up now, here we go.
So Rapetti coming in to pitch here from his position at third base has struggled a little bit to throw strikes. Issued the walk to Clayton. Now the 1-0 pitch is popped up foul, out of play, 1-1. Big spot here for the HarbourCats, trying to take the lead as we approach the late innings of this ball game. It's been a well-pitched game on both sides, not a lot of offense. As you look at 2 hits on the HarbourCats side and 5 hits on the Ridgefield side, just the 1 run. HarbourCats even a miss by Schindel, and it's now 1-2.
Hey, right on
Big
it. Here we go.
strikeout spot here for Ridgefield with nobody out in the inning. Rapetti needs 1 more good pitch to see if he can finish off Ty Schindel.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. breaking ball is strike 3 called, and Schindel down looking. A good one at 69 miles per hour that came back to that outside corner. And there's one down, so now the infield for Ridgefield can go back to double play depth. And a ground ball could get Cameron Rapetti out of this inning. It'll be Tanner Rempel now to hit. And Rempel has come up in a spot with the bases loaded once this season. Came up with a base hit up the middle into center field that scored 2. So he'll look for another one of those here. Little chopper foul and behind home plate. 0-1 now on Rempel. HarbourCats with the bases loaded, nobody out a moment ago. Now there's one out. At the very least, trying to push across the go-ahead run, even if they only can get one run out of this inning, would give them the lead. That one all the way to the backstop. It comes back to the catcher and out at the plate. Ramirez makes the tag to get Hayes. And that is going to be the second out of the inning, and it prevents a run from scoring. Well, it was a very generous bounce off the backstop. Back to the catcher, Steve Ramirez. And Hayes almost beat the tag, but just was tagged before that hand was able to touch home plate. So Adams got to third on that play. Clayton stayed put at first. So they're at the corners with a 1-1 count now on Tanner Rempel. So they're going to need to hit the HarbourCats to get anything out of this inning now. 1-1 pitch. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Rapetti one good pitch away from escaping a bases loaded, nobody out jam. And he's set. Here's the 1-2. High chopper towards third. The throw from Earn goes across the diamond, and that is the inning. Well done from Cameron Rapetti. Freezing runners at the corners and getting out of that bases loaded jam. We go to the 7th. Still 1-1. HarbourCats and the Raptors knotted up.
Always popular. Good Life Fitness Bubble Balls. Oh yeah. Today we have Emma and we have Heather. Now the object is to knock over the other one's pillar, but we all know how this usually works out. All right, ladies, on your marks, get set, go. That is a double takedown there. Oh, Heather's Street Swat is brought to you by Good Life Fitness. We got prizes for you from those guys. Thanks to the Commissionaires for providing security for all Victoria HarbourCats games. Commissionaires, trusted every day, everywhere, safeguarding communities. And a big thank you to our batters that last inning. Great to have you here. Tonight's attendance, 1,632. On behalf of the HarbourCats, I'd like to thank you guys for coming out and supporting baseball here in Victoria. Leading off for the Raptors, the left fielder, number 12, Grayson Sterling.
We're back here for the late innings. HarbourCats and the Raptors tied at 1-1. Victoria squandering an opportunity with the bases loaded, nobody out. And Regan McDonald goes back to work here for his second inning in relief. McDonald was good in his first inning. Did not, just allowed the one hit, but did not allow anything more. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is the left fielder Grayson Sterling for Ridgefield. Bottom third of the order, due up for the Raptors in this 7th inning. Now it's 3-0. McDonald is behind Sterling, 1 for 2 in the ball game to this point. McDonald trying to get in the strike zone here. 3-0 pitch is going to miss up high for ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk issued by McDonald to Grayson Sterling to start this inning. So Ridgefield, after walking the tightrope and escaping that bases loaded, nobody out jam in the last inning, now looking to carry that momentum over into this top of the 7th and take the lead. There's a right-hander now warming in the bullpen for the HarbourCats. The Ridgefield bullpen is quiet, so we'll expect Cameron Rapetti to go back out for his second inning when we go to the bottom of the 7th. There's a high fastball at 87, and it's 5 straight balls thrown by McDonald to start this inning, trying to get back in that strike zone. This is Michael York, the right fielder for Ridgefield. He is 1 for 2 tonight. There's a good breaking ball, and it does catch the outside part of the plate for 1-1. Well, the shadow's pretty much covering all of the field now as we're just past 8:30 local time in Victoria. There's a throw over to first base, and safely standing up is the base runner Sterling. Quick moving ball game tonight. Well pitched on both sides, and that's what happens when you have a well pitched game. It does move fairly quickly. This one, though, is rolled into right field for a base hit. Up to second goes Sterling, and there's runners at first and second with nobody out. So McDonald in a little bit of trouble here, and the Raptors, again, they got out of that bases loaded, nobody out jam, and now we'll see if that gives them the energy and the momentum to carry it right over up to the plate in this frame and see if they can take the lead. Of course, this game and every game now from this point, game 1 of the second half through to game 27, in theory, is more important to the HarbourCats' opponent, unless their opponent is the Corvallis Knights, because they also clinched the division. The Raptors trying to get off to a good start here in game 1 of the second half, where all the records reset to 0-0. And as I mentioned earlier in the ballgame, the Portland Pickles made the playoffs last year as their first year in the West Coast League as an expansion team. So Ridgefield will want to try to do the same thing for their to say that they can match their local rivals not far away in southern Washington. Tanner Rempel's well onto the infield grass from first, expecting a bunt here. Bunt is popped up right at home plate, and it's caught by Clayton. That is out number 1. So Wyatt Hoffman could not get it down, and both base runners are forced to stay put. So a big out for McDonald. Let's see if that gives him a little bit of confidence to get back in the strike zone, and he did do that in the last inning. McDonald just started a little bit erratic with the command in this second inning of relief. He's now thrown 22 pitches, 11 of them for balls, 11 of them for strikes. So we'll go back to the top of the Ridgefield order now. This is Johnny Weaver, the shortstop, taking strike 1. Nothing in 1 pitch is going to miss down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Close one there, but a good disciplined take by Weaver to lay off. 76 on the breaking ball that time from Regan McDonald. 1-1 pitch is driven deep in the air, left field. Racing back on it is Schindel, and he's going to watch it sail over the fence for a 3-run home run. And with 1 swing of the bat, the Raptors charge ahead. It's a 4-1 Ridgefield lead. And that's where those walks will hurt you, when you give up a pair of them and then allow a ball to be hit over the fence. And so the Raptors take advantage of those 2 walks, and it's a 3-run shot for Johnny Weaver. So the base is now empty after that 3-run shot, here with now 1 out. McDonald trying to focus back in and get the HarbourCats through to the 7th inning stretch and see if his offense can get a couple runs of that back. Showing bunt that time, Jack Bauer, the center fielder and number 2 hitter in the order for Ridgefield. He took a strike. Now a swing and a miss, not showing bunt that time, but was well behind the 87-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-2 the count. Oh-2 in the dirt, and it's going to be a strikeout if Clayton can complete the throw to first. He does, and so it is a good response for McDonald, getting a strikeout of Jack Bauer on just 3 pitches right after serving up that home run ball. So there's now 2 gone, bases empty, and it looks like the Raptors have forfeited the DH spot because Rapetti came into the game, or took over on the mound, I should say. He started the game at third base, but with the defensive changes, there were a couple of them that I mentioned in the last inning. Looks like they've shuffled it around and forfeited the DH for the rest of the game, so the pitcher's spot now will hit in the order for Ridgefield from here on out. There was a first pitch strike to Rapetti, good 2-way player for the Ridgefield Raptors. Rapetti 1 for 2 with a walk, got underneath that one as it's out to straightaway center field. Reaching up, making the catch, Matt Turner, and that retires the side. Big swing of the bat, though, from Johnny Weaver. A 3-run shot gives Ridgefield a 4-1 lead as we've reached the stretch here at Wilson's Group Stadium.
Transit 7th inning stretch. Trying to get on that stretch out, let's send Gate out to the ball game. Better than Harvey. Leading off for your HarbourCats, the shortstop from San Diego, number 14, Chase Hydra.
And then the mascot will be standing kind of where that coach is right there. Sure.
I'm going to be very messed up.
That's okay. Honestly, most people,
I think that is the point of it. That's true.
Most people do Chase.
Okay, good.
We go to the bottom of inning number 7, and it's going to be led off by Chase Mydroth for the HarbourCats. They trail now by 3 runs after that 3-run home run by Johnny Weaver in the last inning. There's a big swing and a miss by Mydroth, and it's 0-2. Still out there, Cameron Rapetti, as we anticipated, throwing for Ridgefield.
I worked there during the school year. Campus ministry.
There's a fastball at 89 missing up high, and it's now 1-2. This one stroked into right for a base hit, and Mydroth delivers with a leadoff single, so that's a good start to the inning for the HarbourCats as they try to work their way back. Tanner Haney now will step up to the plate. Mydroth now 1 for 3 with that base hit.
Now batting the second baseman from the University of Texas, number 2, Tanner Haney.
Tanner.
Put it back here. So you should get back for about
Tanner here, baby.
Sherbrooke, Quebec. So Quebec is just in Montreal.
Good AB.
Yeah. Is this home then? Yeah. Okay.
Rapetti's first pitch is going to miss down and into Haney. 1 ball, no strikes. Haney 0 for 2 with a strikeout in his 2 at-bats tonight. Trying to get off the schneid in the same fashion that Mydroth did. And this is going to work for him. It gets down in right field for another base hit. So a pair of singles to right for both Mydroth and Haney now is 1 for 3. And just like that, the HarbourCats are going to bring the tying run up to the plate. And it's Nate Pacoda who will hit. He did not start this game, but then entered the game as Joe Butler was replaced. So first and second, nobody out, and more trouble for Cameron Rapetti. We saw him work out of trouble coming into the game with the bases loaded and nobody out. But he worked out of that jam with a big strikeout. But he's in danger here of working himself back into trouble here in this bottom of the 7th. There's a first pitch strike to Nate Pacoda.
Yeah. I'm on the field with Mike. Okay. Yeah, okay. He kind of shoots down me, Yeah.
Nothing in 1 pitch. That one misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the HarbourCats trying to play now from behind and see if they can get their bats going in the late innings to get back in this game. They trail 4-1. 7 hits now in the game for Ridgefield, just 3 for the HarbourCats. Pitch is well outside on the fastball to Nate Pacoda. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. With Mydroth at second base, Haney at first, there's nobody out. And Matt Turner waiting in the on-deck circle for Victoria. Now the 2-1. Going down to get it, Pacoda fouled it away, and it's now a 2-2 count.
On your back pitch.
Just a brief delay here as the couple of Ridgefield defenders are talking things over. Now we're going to have a meeting on the mound. So initially that was started by the center fielder Jack Bauer, who trotted in from center to talk to the second baseman Wyatt Hoffman. And now there's going to be a mound meeting. I'm not sure if Bauer saw something out there in center field, but just they wanted to pass it on. Interesting, not sure what that exactly was about.
Hey, Chase! More here, nothing back.
Count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Pacoda. That'll miss down and in. It's 3-2. So a big pitch coming up for Rapetti. He did get out of the bases loaded, nobody out jam once, but he does not want to walk the bases loaded with nobody outs and have to do it again. Full count, 3-2. Chopper past the mound. This one could be 2. It's flagged down there by Weaver. He steps on the bag and throws to first. It's a double play. So Rapetti executed a good pitch and got the perfectly placed ground ball to short. And Weaver was able to take that himself to second and then throw it over to first. Going to third on the play, Chase Mydroth. So he's now over there with 2 away. And Matt Turner will try to knock him in with a 2-out base hit so that the HarbourCats can at the very least get something in this inning. Well, Victoria usually is very good with hitting with runners on base. In fact, they're among the best in the West Coast League, as you would expect, given that they have really lead the West Coast League in just about every major hitting category. Hitting with runners on base is one of the key components of that, but they have not been good tonight. They had the bases loaded, nobody out. They did not get anything out of the last inning, and they're on the verge here of not getting anything out of first and second with nobody out. 2-0 pitch misses up high, 88 on that fastball from Rapetti. It's now 3-0 on Turner. Now Rapetti, after that double play, does have a couple bases open that he can use if he wants, but he does attack the zone, and it's 3-1 now on Turner.
Oh, yeah.
3 balls, 1 strike. Turner with a swing and a miss. It's now 3-2. So it did not appear like Rapetti was thinking about using that base open. He went right after Turner in the last 2 pitches. Of course, Tyson Hayes waits on deck, and we know he's been hot tonight and hit that home run, so maybe that factored into the thinking of Rapetti. It's now 3-2, a wave and a miss by Turner, and that is the inning. Rapetti gets the strikeout and keeps the HarbourCats off the board again. Here in the bottom of the 7th, we go to inning number 8, 4-1, Ridgefield in front.
It is Dizzy Bat time, brought to you by the Flying Squirrel. Today we have John and Eric Pina Guy. There it is. All right, gentlemen, you're going to put your heads down, spin around 10 times, and then go high-five Harvey. He's skate. On your marks, get set, spin. Dizzy Bats are brought to you by the Flying Squirrel Indoor Trampoline Park. It is the world's largest indoor trampoline park located on Ridgefield Road in Esquimalt. That is the Flying Squirrel. Oh, these guys are slowing down. By slowing down, I mean they're about to fall down. Sure, go for it. Oh, now that's good sportsmanship. All right, great job, guys. And Melanie, don't think I have forgotten about you. It's the end of the 7th. Unfortunately, the HarbourCats are not winning. But I will have a small prize for you for playing the winning game anyway. I'll get on shortly with that.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, no problem. Good job. Thanks a lot.
Now pitching for your HarbourCats from Illinois State, number 38, Derek Salata.
On we go to inning number 8. It is a 4-1 lead for the Ridgefield Raptors over the HarbourCats here in Game 1 of this series and also Game 1 of the second half of the West Coast League schedule. Derek Salata, the right-hander, on to throw here in this inning for Victoria. And he makes his 5th appearance out of the bullpen this summer. He's been very good in his previous 4 outings. There's a good breaking ball, a lot of break on it. So he came back to catch the inside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. Salata is 1-0 with a 1.58 ERA. He's allowed 5 hits and 2 walks with 7 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings of work. There's a high fastball at 86 that misses for 1 ball and 1 strike. This is Tyler Earn, the third baseman for Ridgefield. Came in defensively at third after the starting third baseman Cameron Rapetti moved to the mound to pitch. It is now 2-1, the count on Earn. No, it's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another fastball. This time it misses up high. It's now 3-2. Salata stands at 6'3", 210 pounds, native of Westchester, Illinois. And he comes to the HarbourCats from Illinois State. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. And Salata gets Earn swinging for out number 1. Now, with Salata entering this game, he is the third Illinois State Redbird to play here tonight for the HarbourCats. The other 2, Joe Butler, who started at third base, and then Tyson Hayes as well from Illinois State. So a heavy contingent of Illinois State Redbirds on the field tonight for the HarbourCats. First pitch downstairs, and it misses. This is Carter Benbrook, another defensive replacement at first. With those changes that were made a couple innings ago, this one hit hard on the ground to first, and Tanner Rempel has it in his glove, takes it himself to step on the bag. There's 2 down. So a good start to the inning for Derek Salata. He looks good through his first 2 batters faced. And he's going for the 1-2-3 inning to keep the HarbourCats down by just the 3 runs. They'll have 6 more outs defensively to try to work with and erase a 3-run deficit. So here now is the catcher, Steve Ramirez, and he looks at one down low. It's a ball and no strikes. Ramirez is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, but he did reach base via a hit by pitch and then scored a run back in the second inning. 1-0 pitch down low in the dirt again, 2-0. Weekly hit to second base. Tanner Haney the scoop. The throw is in plenty of time, and that is the inning. 1-2-3 go the Raptors. Nice frame for Derek Salata here in the top of the 8th. HarbourCats coming back up, trailing by 3 runs.
Solid.
8, 7, 4, 4. 018-744. You just won $525 and a few new friends sitting right beside you. Waiting to be able to get a beer or 20.
2-2 pitch is hit well down the left field line. Going back, looking up, and it is gone. And the pitch. This one grounded up the middle, could be 2. There's the flip to second for 1. Haney to first, double play. Box is set for another 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. And those double play balls as well have helped him out. This one is caught on a dive. No, it's knocked down. The throw to first in time. Wagon Seller with a high fly ball. Deep left center field, and it is gone. And he's 5th in the league in RBIs as he grounds one to third, charging it with the bare hand spawn. The throw is in time. And the 1-2 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, here's a ball hit well in the air deep to left field, and this ball is gone. 0-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. And the 2-2. Strike 3 called, he got him. Ball hit hard towards the hole, diving stop made by Bigford. He gets to his feet, and that's the inning. And Lewis is running right away for second, and he is safe as the ball tips off. We're back for the bottom of inning number 8. Tyson Hayes for Victoria. will lead it off here in this 8th inning. He's still facing Cameron Rapetti as this one sent in the air to center field. Diving, the catch is made by Jack Bauer. What a play, and that robs Hayes of a base hit. My goodness, what an effort in center field. Headlong dive, and he just took it right off the top of the blade of grass in center field. Just at the last moment, got the glove out to make that catch. And as the fans always do here in Victoria, they're very receptive of good defensive plays whenever they see them, not just on the HarbourCats side. And Bauer got a nice hand from the fans here. They like to see good baseball. That's what, of course, they want HarbourCats to win, but they also like to see that the players on both sides playing hard and playing good baseball. This one is drilled down the line, but foul. There by Nick Adams. 1-2 the count, 1 out, bases empty after that excellent play in center field. Well, let's take a look now at the out-of-town scoreboard here as we play the bottom of the 8th inning. Just 2 other games on the West Coast League schedule here on this Monday night. As is often the case, Mondays are usually fairly light. Often an off day for teams with 3-game series wrapping up on Sunday. And the nature of the West Coast League, where you often have 3-game series, not a lot of 2-game or 1-game series. And there is almost never a 4-game series. 1-2 pitch, driven deep to left field, but it's going to stay in the park, and it's caught by Sterling for the out. There's 2 gone. So the 2 other games in the West Coast League tonight, the Corvallis Knights are on top of the Port Angeles Lefties 7-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning down in Port Angeles. So the Knights are looking to extend that win streak to 16 games if they can win this one tonight. And the Bellingham Bells look like they'll be off to a good start to the second half after they lost the first half division crown yesterday. We knew one of the 2 teams was going to walk away from yesterday's ball game empty-handed. And the Bells were that team, but they're ahead 4-1 against the Walla Walla Sweets in the bottom of the 8th inning down in Bellingham at Joe Martin Field. 2 balls and no strikes here on Matt Clayton, the catcher for the HarbourCats. Bases are empty in the bottom of the 8th inning. There's a swing and a foul tip into the glove of Ramirez. It's now 2-1. Well, just while we have a moment here, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping with some notes. First of all, craft services for Go Live broadcasts are provided by Molly's Fish and Chips here in Victoria. And we'll also remind you that if you're watching tonight's game on Shaw, every HarbourCats home game can be viewed on Go Live broadcast, $6.99 per game for the rest of the season and the playoffs as well. We'll be having those games for sure. We know the HarbourCats are going to be in the playoffs, and we'll have them for you on Go Live broadcasts at the end of the regular season in mid-August. 3-1 to Clayton, swinging a foul away. It's now 3-2. HarbourCats haven't had much doing offensively tonight, aside from that big swing of the bat by Tyson Hayes that left the yard back in inning number 4. 3-2 pitch. Clayton just got a piece of it. He'll stay alive. It remains 3-2. Ty Schindel waits on deck for Victoria. And Schindel is 1 for 3. Full count, 3-2. That'll miss outside, and it is ball 4. So the second walk taken by Clayton tonight. Good disciplined take as well on that breaking ball that was running outside, and Schindel will get a chance to hit here in this 8th inning.
Now batting, the left fielder from San Diego Christian, number 13, Ty Schindel.
There's a fastball at 87 from Rapetti that missed down and in on Schindel for 1 ball and no strikes. Swinging a foul tip to the screen. It's now 1-1. HarbourCats trying to build on this 2-out rally that was just started a moment ago by Clayton taking a walk on 3-2. Let's see if that could be the start of something here in this bottom of the 8th inning that gets the HarbourCats a little closer on the scoreboard. Schindel takes one down low. 2-1 now the count. Tanner Rempel would be next if the inning gets to him. Schindel trying to reach base for the second time today. 2-1 pitch. Schindel sends a fly ball in the air to deep right center field. This ball is going to be run down in center by Bauer, and that will end the inning. So Schindel gave that one a bit of a jolt out to right center field, but it was not deep enough. And the HarbourCats held off the board here in the 8th. On to inning number 9 we go. Still 4-1, Ridgefield.
Nobody? How about a little Sweet Caroline while we're doing this? Do a little singing. Maybe. All right, let's hear you guys. You guys can do better than that. Let's hear ya. It's getting better, but I still don't think you've been as loud as you can be. All right, we're going to give you guys one more chance. I want you guys to be so loud that they hear you all the way down in Ridgefield. Scream like you're getting free chips or something. Loud as you can go. I knew you could do it. Oh yeah, that is why you guys are the best fans in the WCL right there. Leading off for the Raptors, the left fielder, number 12, Grayson Sterling.
We're back here in the top of inning number 9, and Derek Salata goes back to work for the HarbourCats here as he tries to keep it at just a 3-run lead for Ridgefield before we go to the bottom of the 9th. HarbourCats will have just the 3 outs to try to make up those 3 runs and get back in this game. 1-1 the count on Grayson Sterling, the left fielder this evening for Ridgefield. 1-1 pitch popped up, shallow left field. Coming in on it and making the catch is Ty Schindel. That'll be out number 1.
$2 mini donuts while supplies last.
So Salata's done a nice job since entering the ball game. Yet to allow a base runner in his inning and a third. Also has 1 strikeout. There's a breaking ball that loops down low and misses for 1-0 on the right fielder, Michael Jorg. Another one down low. This one's a fastball at 88 from Salata, and it's 2-0. Well, not the best of efforts at the plate tonight from the HarbourCats collectively. They've just had that one swing of the bat by Tyson Hayes that scored their lone run of the game on the solo homer. But I suppose we can cut them some slack because they did clinch the division yesterday and they are into the playoffs. At the same time, though, I think that the message from Todd Haney to the dugout, or the clubhouse, excuse me, the rest of the season is going to be, yes, we're in the playoffs. And it's not must-win games, as this one's driven in the air out to deep center field. Going back on it, Turner still back. He's not going to get it. As it rattles off the wall, going for 3 is Jorg, and he is in there with a slide, a one-out triple. And a chance at some more insurance runs for Ridgefield. So they have a runner now at third base with 1 out. But just back to the HarbourCats and how they attack this second half. Of course, they don't need to worry about getting in the playoffs, but I don't think that changes too much. Because Todd Haney's a competitive guy. He still wants to win. And what also Todd told me before today's ball game, and it makes a lot of sense, is that, yeah, the HarbourCats maybe don't have a need to win a ton of games and get in the playoffs, but still, a lot of these individual players have their sights set on developing their own games, and they have individual goals that they want to hit. And they're also trying to do that within a good team concept, in that the HarbourCats want to keep building on this winning program, and they want to go into the playoffs at the end of mid-August feeling good about themselves. They don't want to go in not feeling good about themselves, because that would potentially lead to a first-round exit, which would waste all the good work they've done in the first half. So to be honest, maybe for a day the HarbourCats here not quite at their best, but I think what we can expect is that throughout the second half, not much is going to change for the HarbourCats. They're going to attack each game the same way, like they want to win, and like they need to win, because that's how good teams do it. It's 2-2 now, the count on Wyatt Hoffman, the second baseman, who is 0 for 2. RBI spot for him if he can put something in play. The HarbourCats infield is in, trying to avoid another run coming in to score. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Hoffman down swinging, and a big strikeout for Derek Salata. And he will leave that runner over there at third base now with 2 outs. Any out will do for him to get through a scoreless top of the ninth. Well, the sun is just about now set here in Victoria. Still a good amount of daylight left, but the lights are on out in center field. It's been a great night to come out to the park weather-wise. HarbourCats just the 1 run, and they trail 4-1, but perhaps there is a late 9th inning comeback on the cards. We'll see in the bottom half. There is a good breaking ball from Salata that caught the zone. Last one missed in tight. Clayton did well to pick that one out of the dirt. Ball and a strike to Johnny Weaver. Jorg at third, 1-1 count. Weaver hits one right to first and into the glove of Tanner Rempel. That'll be all for Ridgefield here in the top of the ninth. 3 more outs for the Raptors to try to wrap up the win. HarbourCats thinking about a comeback, trailing by 3.
Fans, we would like to wish McKenna Dawson a very happy 20th birthday. Happy birthday, McKenna.
Turn out. Baseline is just go. We need base.
off for your HarbourCats, the first baseman from Colorado Mesa, number 40, Tanner Rempel.
On we go to the bottom of the ninth. Tanner Rempel will lead it off for the HarbourCats, and they need a rally. They need 3 runs to keep this one going here tonight. There's a first pitch strike as Cameron Rapetti goes right back to work. Rapetti's done a very nice job in relief as Rempel rolls one through into left field for a base hit. So a good start to the inning for the HarbourCats. Now, one thing that Rapetti has done very well tonight in his innings of relief is pitch and pitch well with runners on base. He's had to do that a lot, but he's been very effective. And I think this is going to be it for Rapetti. So new pitcher is going to come on for Ridgefield to try to get the save here with nobody out in the bottom of the ninth. We'll be right back. We're back in the bottom of the ninth inning. Tanner Rempel has led it off with a base hit to left field. HarbourCats now have the tying run in the on-deck circle. So Tanner Rempel stands at first, nobody out. New pitcher on, 6'4", 210 pounds from Irvine, California. Plays his college ball at Arizona State. He is 0 for 1, make that 0-1 with a 4.84 ERA and 6 appearances on the summer. He is in search here of his first save. Allowed 9 hits and 7 walks in 13 innings of work, along with 8 strikeouts. There's a big wave and a miss by Chase Mydroth, and it's a ball and a strike from Lid to Mydroth. Mydroth 1 for 3 with a strikeout tonight, singled in his last at bat. 1-1 pitch is roped down the line. That's a fair ball. Rempel headed towards third base. He is in there. Mydroth digging for 2. He is safe with a slide. And the HarbourCats have life here in the bottom of the ninth. The tying run coming up. There are 2 runs now in scoring position with nobody out.
Hey, drive him in, right? Line drive.
So a big chance for Victoria here to try to storm back in the ninth inning. For the HarbourCats, Mydroth now at second base. Rempel is at third, trying to keep the rally going against Mark Lid, the reliever on for Ridgefield. Fastball at 85 down low, 1 ball, no strikes to Haney. Well, Nate Pacoda waits on deck. Again, Haney is the tying run at the plate. There's 2-0. And one thing that Lid does not want to do is walk the tying run onto the base paths. So he's going to receive Ramirez. Haney also 1 for 3 with a strikeout, and a base hit in his last at bat, so if he follows the same pattern which he did the last time through the order as the guy in front of him in the order, Chase Mydroth, Haney is due for another hit here. Two 2-0 pitch is a swing and a miss. Good fastball at 86 that time. Missed the bat of Haney, now 2-1, and an important pitch for Lid to get back in that strike zone. Two balls and one strike. Haney into right field. This is down for a base hit. Rempel scores, and now it gets away. Here comes Mydroth to score. Haney stops at second, and the HarbourCats are now down 4-3 with the tying run and scoring, and maybe walking it off here in the ninth. Their bats have come alive, and we're going to have, I believe, a pinch hitter in the form of Jason Willow. There is now double-barreled action going in the left field bullpen for Ridgefield. Dangerous spot here as Willow steps in. And, you know, he might be thinking about trying to send us home with one swing. He hit a ball over the fence yesterday for his 4th home run of the season. He leads the HarbourCats in the home run department with those 4, and he's 2nd in the West Coast League. So Haney stands at second base, nobody out. He's the tying run. Willow, a wave and a miss. Off-speed pitch running away from him. And Willow took the bait there at that swing, but he's now behind in the count, 0-1. Chase Wesner as well has approached the on-deck circle. So Todd Haney smells blood here. He's not fooling around. He's bringing the big bats up to the plate here. That one misses now to Willow for 1 ball and 1 strike.
However you want. Come on now, man. You got it.
Now a fastball down low at 87 from Mark Lid. HarbourCats had really nothing going aside from that one swing of the bat by Tyson Hayes all ball game long. It's now 4-3. Jason Willow is up. The HarbourCats trying to storm back here in the 9th and either tie the game or walk it off. 2-1 to Willow. Is sent in the air out to left center field. This is playable. Center, Haney thought about trying to tag, but he's not going to advance. So Willow flies out, and now it's Chase Wesner. Well, Wesner, no stranger to the late dramatics. On Canada Day, a week ago today, on Monday, July the 1st, Wesner stepped up in a pinch hit at bat. Not dissimilar to what he is stepping into here with the HarbourCats trailing in extra innings. He had a pair of runners on base then. He only has the one on here. And he drove in the walk-off double against the Falcons. Wesner checked his swing. No, he did not. He went around. That's a strike. It's 0-1. And Tyson Hayes waits on deck. We know that he has gone deep already in this ball game. And the HarbourCats, I think, smelling a little bit of blood in the water as the Raptors just trying to get those final 2 outs. There is a swing and a foul away by Wesner. It's 0-2. So Lid needs to tread carefully here with some dangerous hitters at the plate. Willow, of course, he was able to get out. Now Wesner, another very difficult guy to try to get out. He's hitting .385 with 2 homers and 17 RBIs on the season. 0-2 pitch, another foul back. It remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Low and away, easy take for Wesner, 1-2. There is now a right-hander for the HarbourCats warming up in the event that they tie this ball game up and need to go to extra innings in the top of the 10th. 1-2 pitch is a wave and a miss by Wesner, and that is the second out. So it's going to come down to Tyson Hayes, who had the big hit, the solo home run that was coming into this 9th inning, the only run in the game for the HarbourCats. And Hayes now, we'll see if he can come up with a big base hit to tie the game, or if he can go, or if Mark Lidd is going to do the job and complete the save, albeit walking the tightrope a little bit for Ridgefield. And just still a narrow 4-3 lead, and the first pitch to Hayes is a breaking ball that drops down low that misses. It's a ball and no strikes. HarbourCats now have crept up near the 8 hits that Ridgefield has in the hit column. They have 7 and 3 runs to show for it. One more hit would very likely tie the ball game. Hayes with a swing and a foul back. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Go, Tosh, right here, baby.
Haney takes his lead off of second. Decent lead for him out there. And the 1-1 pitch to Hayes. Did he go? No, he did not. Says first base umpire Jaden Sabin. It's 2-1. Hayes with that home run ball back in inning number 4, his 3rd long ball of the summer, and his 15th RBI. Big swing and a miss by Hayes, and I tell you what, I think he was trying to send us home with that swing, but it's a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Put a lot into that swing, but could not make contact, so now he's going to have to shorten up a little bit. Count is now even, 2-2. That is strike 3 called, and that is the ball game. Well, the HarbourCats rally falls short here in the bottom of the 9th. They got the 2 runs on the Tanner Haney 2-run double to make it 4-3, but Haney was left stranded out there at second, and the HarbourCats fall short here in the 9th inning. Well, thank you for tuning in here tonight. It was a good ball game, really, on both sides between the HarbourCats and the Raptors. We'll be back for Game 2 tomorrow, same time, same place, 6:35 on Shaw Spotlight and Go Live broadcast. But for now, we thank you for tuning in tonight. For producer Chris Jaycox, my name is Mike Edwards. On behalf of our great crew here at Wilson's Group Stadium, saying so long from Victoria, the Raptors victorious over the HarbourCats, 4-3.